Spotlight. This is Fourth Downs Magazine's weekly fireside chat with the movers and shakers on the football field in the Mid-Penn Conference. I'm Andy Shay, and I'm going to be your moderator each and every week that we do this. Number one in your Cumberland Valley football program roster this week is Griffin Huffman, 6'1", 200-pound junior wide receiver and free safety. And as we all learned last week, he is the holder for field goals and extra points. He also returns kicks, but now we really know who the holder for field goals and extra points is for the Eagles, and we're going to get to that. So, Griffin, hey, welcome. Thanks for taking time to join us, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So this is how it's going to work tonight, Griffin. We're going to have a little chat. I have some questions I'm going to ask you. They're going to be fun questions. Don't worry. We're going to ask you some things about the Eagles, who are coming off their first win of the season, 23-19. I'll call it an upset of previously undefeated Springford from District 1. That was at the Chap last Friday night. Then at the end, Griffin, we're going to put you on the hot seat. There are a few short answer questions to close out, and that'll do it. Let's get some stats on you real quick. He had a pair of touchdowns in the victory over Springford, including a rushing touchdown that we are actually going to talk quite a bit about because I have a million questions about it. He also caught a 41-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Isaac Sines. For the season, he leads the Eagles with 10 catches for 149 yards from his wide receiver position. He has the one touchdown. He also has 12 tackles, including 11 solo and a TFL from his safety spot, and he has 4 kickoff returns for 66 yards to pace the Eagles. So, Griffin, we have to go back to the Chap on Friday night. I have so many questions. I read about it. I saw your video where you talked about it. So let me just set the scene real quick. Cumberland Valley is at the Springford one-yard line. There's 10 seconds left. CV's trailing 19-17. They're going to kick a field goal. Isaac's going to kick a field goal. You're the holder. This is where I want to start. So snap, kick, hold. Start for me from snap and tell me what happened.
All right, so I get our ready call, and when I said ready before he snapped it, I saw the guy on defense. I swear he jumped offside, so my mindset was there. And then the ball was snapped. It was perfect snap. I went down to hold it, and then I was trying to spin it so the laces were on, but then it fell off the right side of the tee. So then
it falls off the tee.
Yeah, and then I tried to do it again, and then I was it's way too late because every single person was just running in. They all dove on each other, and then it was just an open seam on the left side of the field.
So did you scoop it up from that point and just take off around the outside?
Yeah. So
was there anybody out there? Did you have clear sailing, or was it just did you have any guys to get around? Were they
well, there was one guy on the edge, but he wasn't very close to me. There was kind of one of our guys blocking as well. And then a guy who didn't dive for the kick, he dove for my legs while I was running. But besides that, it was pretty open.
That is crazy. So you did miss the tee, because you bobbled it. So the lesson, did the guy, is this your first year holding, or have you been a holder before?
So that was my first game holding.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That's your first game. So it's like being a catcher, right? You can't be distracted by anything. The slightest distraction, like you said, you caught a guy out of the corner of your eye, right? And it kind of distracted you. That's the crazy part about being a holder is you almost have to be living in this little bubble where even if you're going to get killed and you know it, you still have to put that ball down and get it down. But that's a great lesson. But hey, great touchdown. You guys got the win anyway. Had you guys tried to score prior to that, to get it in the end zone and seal the game, and they held you guys off?
Yeah, we did. We ran right up the middle. We got stopped, and then we spiked the ball and then had the kick. But
Gotcha. Well, it was it's still an impressive. You had to put together a 12 or 13 play, 65, 70-yard drive.
Yeah, 12 or 14.
Yeah, it was an impressive drive just to get yourself in scoring position to win the game. So, okay, well, thank you for those details, Griffin. I just had to know, how do you miss the tee twice if you're the holder? And how does a holder have time to miss the tee twice and still get up off his keister and get around the end and score a touchdown? I still haven't been able to find any film on it. I'm sure it's on Huddle, but I desperately want to see that play. So let's talk some more about the Eagles let's move forward here. So I would say defensively, I think it's starting to come together for you guys. I mean, only 21 points allowed to Central York against Bo Prabula, the Penn State recruit at quarterback, and they had a 99-yard touchdown pass. It's just an absolute gut punch. You limited Spring Ford to a single touchdown and 2 field goals defensively, 200 yards of total offense. So my question is, Griffin, what are some of the differences you're seeing the last couple weeks, say compared to week one, just on the defensive side of the ball, where you think some of the pieces are starting to come together?
Week one, I don't know, we just came out there and we weren't disciplined, nothing. We weren't looking, like, if we were playing man, we were worried way too much about where the quarterback was going to throw the ball and not looking at our man. So every time that happened, the receiver that we were guarding was just wide open down the middle or on the outsides. And then week two came along and we knew we were playing Bo Prabula, and we knew he has an amazing arm, and
Yeah.
And we just had to focus as much as we could just on the receivers, because we know he's going to throw the ball because he can make the throws.
Right. He's got intangibles too. He's just a hard guy to beat. It doesn't matter that he's a Penn State recruit or not. As a high school quarterback, he's just a hard guy to beat. It's really hard to beat a quarterback team by him. That's my observation. Is you could be better and play better, and somehow he's going to find a way, and that's really hard to play against. But were you guys encouraged? You lost the game, right? You lost 21-3, but were you encouraged by the performance that you guys had against Central York, and did that carry over into last week against Spring Ford defensively?
For sure. Like week two, you saw like it was 7-3. We got stopped at the 1 yard line, and they threw a 99-yard touchdown. And even from there, that was the fourth quarter. So it was such a tight game. We took so many steps that game from week one to week two. And then from week two, like after the game, I even said, like, nobody shut their heads down. We should just be ready for the next game, because we took way more than a couple of steps that game.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you talking about that. We're going to talk about the offense in a little bit. I'm going to ask you a little bit about, what's going on with the Seagulls offense. But first, I want to know, you play safety and wide receiver, return kicks. Are you going to be the holder going forward, or is that just a 1 week thing?
I'm not sure. I think
Not sure.
We'll see. We'll see.
I'd put you back out there. If you can go around the end when dudes are around you to score, I'd put you out there. Anyway, anywhere on the football field, right? As long as you're playing, who cares where, right? But is there one side of the ball you prefer over the other, and why?
I'd honestly say no.
No?
No.
Safety and wide receiver, are those kind of positions that have always been germane to you, or positions that you played, or did you play other things growing up and this is just where you fit on the high school field and maybe at the next level?
When I was growing up, I was mainly running back and linebacker, but then I think this is like a perfect fit for me, receiver safety. I think it's really good fit.
Could you play outside linebacker? I mean, 6'1", 200 pounds, that's a good size for a high school sort of rush end outside linebacker cover and space type guy. Could you play that position as well, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I just got to learn it.
What is the hardest part about playing safety for you? Since it's not a position that you obviously, it's kind of like linebacker, but it's also kind of not. What's been the biggest learning curve for you as a safety?
I think the biggest thing was just the covering. Like, because when I was younger, all we did was look at the quarterback, but now it's like you actually have something to do, right? And you got to focus on everything, like all of your rules.
There's footwork and technique, and even like shoulder and hip technique with covering receivers, is there not?
Yeah, it's like it's so much crazier whenever you actually are doing it.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're referencing, right? Like, there's a lot of technique things that most common people who watch football don't know. That I think being a defensive back and using all of the correct techniques and learning them is one of the most difficult things in football. That's just my opinion.
I agree with that.
All right, so give me the best nickname of a guy on your squad. So when you reveal the nickname to us, just know that this is going to be public, so choose your answer carefully. But who's got the best nickname on the Eagles, in your opinion?
I think the one I can think about on the top of my head is Adam Somerville. He's number 11. We call him Sticks.
Sticks, as in Sticks? Like, is he skinny or tall or
well,
what?
I mean, we say it's because his number, but he's pretty skinny.
That's a good one. Sticks because he's 11. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Eagles offense. I guess got a little bit more. So Coach Oswalt he's Cumberland Valley grad, so he's always going to get more rope. Always wanted to coach the Eagles. He has a style of offense he likes to run. And change is never easy, right? It's been a struggle for you guys offensively. Last year, it was a struggle. This year, it's been a bit of a struggle. But what's been the most difficult part in your eyes in putting the building blocks that he's talking about in place that has been such a slow process?
I think the biggest thing was just obviously coming from a wing T going to spread
Yes.
was just it's just the complete opposite, I
Right.
guess. Yeah. And you have to learn everything just like opposite and then you gotta make it work. And I think now it's coming together.
Well, he said this week, I see building blocks going into place. And I know Coach Oswalt really well because I covered him when he was in high school and college, and I've known him since he was a coach at Carlisle. But I know his coach lingo and what he means, and that means he likes what he's seeing. What are some things you are starting to see moving in the right direction when he says some of the building blocks, we're starting to put them in place and they're starting to stack up?
I think he really likes how the line is moving right now, moving people off the line, getting some extra time in the pocket. Um, I think he likes all around everything. Everything was like last game, everything was clicking. We just had to convert on the things that we weren't converting on, and then it'll be just completely different.
So, as a player, I can say this, and you'll agree with me. It is a huge difference between 1-2 and 0-3. Can you tell me as a player what the difference is in your mind as 1-2 as compared to 0-3?
I mean, you have one in the win column, two in the loss column, but if you had that three, it'd be a lot different mostly because you just haven't had that winning feeling.
Right. I just think it's one of the small differences in records. I don't think there's any difference between 1-1 and 0-2. I don't think, but the difference between 0-3 versus 1-2 is like a country mile in my estimation, because 3 is like a third mark of the season, but you have so much you can build on when you get one under you, and almost the 2 losses almost evaporate. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think you're right.
So you've got Carlisle this week. It's the 3-0 Thundering Herd, right? I'm just going to put that out there. Carlisle's 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Cumberland Valley's 1-2. And I've been around long enough to know that it's been a long time since Cumberland Valley lost to Carlisle. I think Coach Oswalt might even know how many years exactly it's been. I don't know. But I know it has been a long time. This is a huge game for the Thundering Herd for a lot of reasons. This is a huge game for you guys for a lot of different reasons. What are you guys doing this week, and what are you zeroing in on your preparation for Carlisle this week, Griffin?
I feel like we're just focusing more on what we have to do. We just got to do our things right, and then everything should fall into place. We're not really, I wouldn't say we're changing up a lot of things.
Right.
We're just looking at the things that have been working in the past couple of games and using what's been working.
Just from your little bit of film study, this is a different Carlisle team than even you played last year. Am I right? I saw them at the first game, and I'm like, okay, this is a lot different team than even they were last year. A lot of the same kids in some respects, but it's a very different team. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they got some of the same kids, but playing different positions.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of good things well. All right, Griffin, we're going to put you on the hot seat. Are you ready?
Yes.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
What is your go-to song right now?
Any song by 2K Baby.
Okay. College football on Saturday or NFL football on Sunday?
College football.
Okay. What is your favorite high school football uniform and helmet combination that is not yours?
I would say.
Whose kit do you like?
Let me think. I'd say I like. Oh, I can't even think.
Go ahead. Think about your division. Think about non-conference.
This might be bad, but I liked Central York's chrome helmets when they had those.
Nice. I think their orange. I think the brightness of their orange with the white is really sharp too.
Yeah.
And white on white, you can never go wrong. But I'll just say it out loud. I'm a big fan of the playoff black pants for Cumberland Valley. Always.
Yeah, I love those.
Always will be. All right, last one. What is your go-to order at Sheets, Griffin?
Mac and cheese bites and a for real milkshake.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much for your time, Griffin. That's Griffin Huffman, #1 for the Cumberland Valley Eagles. Good luck to you guys this week and moving forward. Stay healthy and play well against Carlisle.
Thank you.
All right. That was Griffin Huffman from Cumberland Valley joining us on the Spotlight. Make sure you check out all of our high school football content on fourthdownmagazine.com. Follow along on our social media or check out our YouTube page. For Adam behind the curtain, yeah, he's back there. You can't see him, but he is. I'm your moderator, Andy and Shay. See ya.